Hey guys, so I'm starting the second vlog for this trip today. Today is Wednesday. We reached here on Saturday, so I believe it's day 4 or day 5, however you decide to count it. But we are here in Dudh Patri, which is another snow-covered mountain where there aren't as many activities. There's basically a ton of sightseeing. You can come here. It's a very picturesque spot, and there are two modes of transport. Once you reach the base, you can either ride horses and they'll take you through the entire place, or they have these bikes. That one, which costs a little bit more, lesser animal cruelty obviously, but yeah, you have both the options, whichever you choose to go with. We haven't decided which one we're going to go with, but I'll make sure to take you through and show you all across the place. So yeah, this is Pushpa. Parvez bhai, hi bolo. And this is Pushpa. So Pushpa is a boy, and we're going for a ghode ki sawari. Pushpa right here is a very, very good boy. We have to all leave him good compliments in the comment section, because he did not drop me till now, and we're not going to jinx it either. Pushpa, you are a very good boy. This is Srivalli, who is Pushpa's wife, and she was the ride for my mom.
She was taking me fast.
Fast?
Yes.
That's because you're light.
I was ahead of all of y'all.
Yes. Got off the horses, and this is the Dudh Patri lake or river rather. So you basically cross it on your own. There was one part over there which we just crossed, and now we can cross over and go beyond in any direction basically. So yeah, and it's also a very scenic spot. A lot of people are taking photos here, like you can see. So now our next plan of action is basically to walk across the rocks and go beyond that point. So yeah, so we were there. That's where my Masi and my Mami are. We crossed over and now we're in the sand. Mummy! She is just enjoying touching the water everywhere. That's what she found right now as well. And my brother is somewhere, kind of, yeah, he's there. Yep, the white guy. You can take photos here. So now we're all headed back after our visit in the lake, and just look at the beautiful mountains, the beautiful trees. If you do happen to come here, they recommend not to be scared of the horses, and I think my fear has also gone away as this journey has progressed. And of course, Pushpa right here was very helpful and made me feel very comfortable. So try to enjoy the beautiful scenery, take photos, and the team that we had of people who were managing the horses made us feel even more at ease. We took some amazing photos and videos that I will hopefully share with you and add it in the vlog, or I'll share it on Instagram. But yeah, we had a lot of fun today. So we stopped by at one of the stalls. So while you enter and exit Dudh Patri, there are a lot of food stalls on the way. So we just stopped by one of the food stalls for lunch. Everyone is having sarson ka saag, and I'm having Maggi. So yeah. Good morning. So it's the next day, and we are apparently checking out now. So there is a lot of change of plans going on, but the bright side of all this is we're going to Gulmarg today. So I'm going to take you through that. So we've reached Gulmarg. This is the first point basically that we stopped by, prior to this, we got a car with a guide and he brought us till here. My family has also gotten jackets, so in case you don't plan to buy jackets for your trip, you can just rent jackets in every place that you go. Even the same thing was in Sonmarg, Gulmarg as well. We did get gumboots because there's a lot of snow. There is about 6 to 7 feet of snow is what they say, and clearly you can see there is a lot of snow. So we got gumboots for that reason. So yeah, I would not really recommend buying any trekking or hiking shoes if you are coming here, because they do tend to get spoiled. So yeah, pro tip on that one. So this is our first spot that we stopped at. Basically, you can take a ton of photos with all the beautiful scenery and snow that is around. So we are in Drang right now. It's this place next to Gulmarg, basically. A very, very beautiful place. That's my brother right there, going to take some photos. And we took a lot of amazing content earlier as well. Hey you guys, it's another morning. So yesterday I told you that we were asked to check out of the hotel we were in. We were supposed to stay there for 4 days, but apparently our stay was only booked for 3 days over there. So we found that out yesterday morning while having breakfast, and we then decided to ask for 1 day in the houseboat another day, but unfortunately we didn't get the same houseboat from last time. So this is, like you can see, a different houseboat. I didn't share a room tour of this one because there was a lot of chaos happening. We reached quite late yesterday, so you saw some sights and scenery from Gulmarg. It's basically more of a scenic spot, and there's also skiing there, which if you choose to do would be great. I didn't because I was too scared, and also it's, I would say, rather expensive for what you get. You can do a skiing course there if you want to, but if you're just a tourist who wants to try out skiing and you've never skied before, it's a little expensive, and I didn't personally think it was worth it, so I didn't go for it. But we did take a lot of really beautiful photos, videos, content in general, all of us. And on our way back, it actually started raining. So that is why I couldn't shoot much. I didn't want to take my phone out in the possibility that it would, like the water would get into it, basically. So on our way back, it rained. And then we checked into a different houseboat, not as great as the previous time, but it's okay. It's still pretty good. It was just a night stay, and it's the next morning today, and we're heading to Pahalgam now today. So hopefully I can share some content and some snippets from the sights of Pahalgam, basically. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and I wanted to catch you up on yesterday because I know the content was not really much, and honestly I didn't know what to show you because it was kind of the same all over again. That's how I felt, and I wanted that to reflect in the content. I feel like personally the previous 2 days, like Dudh Patri and Sonmarg, were way better, and there was way more to do, and that's about it. दिख नहीं रहा है. So we stopped by Petals and Nuts on the way to Pahalgam and got a lot of saffron related goodies. So our tour guide recommended this is where you get authentic saffron. Don't buy it from anywhere else in Kashmir apart from like the Saffron Valley Pahalgam area. So we've reached our hotel in Pahalgam. It's called Hotel Riverside. This is what it looks like. So let me show you our room. It's pretty. I mean, I like the blanket, but yeah, you also get a view the outside. It's super pretty. And then that's the washroom, and that is it for our room in Pahalgam. We're just staying here for one night, so yeah. This is the beautiful view that we're getting to enjoy from. Basically, we're walking from our hotel to go sightseeing locally in Pahalgam. So, yeah. So this is the top basically where our tour guide come driver dropped us, and from there basically if you want to go up they have a lot of different options. You need to get a horse and it'll take you right up the top. So we have finally reached the top. This is called Baiskaran Valley. It's so beautiful, and of course there's a lot of fog, so that's why it's not getting captured well on camera. But yeah, this was a very adventurous ride with the horse. They're definitely well trained, they know the routes with so much practice. But yeah, very adventurous. So now we've reached Baiskaran Valley, which is also more popularly known as Mini Switzerland. And while I've never been to Switzerland, it definitely looks like a mini Switzerland. So nice, so pretty, so photogenic. I would say you can definitely take a lot of really great photos here, and of course there are stalls as well to eat, for snacks. So you can take photos in a Kashmiri dress if you want to. There are also some activities over here. There is a zip line, there is that rotating ball, and there's also jumping jack. And then of course a lot of photos if you want that. See, that's basically how they do it. Hey you guys, it's the next morning from our resort in Pahalgam. It's called Riverside Resorts. It's not a resort really, it's just a hotel. But yeah, it's the next morning. I have a lot to say about our experience yesterday at Pahalgam, but we might probably have to save that for a little bit later in this video, because we're actually heading to Patni Top. Good morning! We're actually heading to Patni Top right now, and I thought I'd have enough time, but I don't. How's the weather?
Very cool.
Very cool. Shivering. Okay, Pahalgam is probably the coldest that we've been in this entire trip. So yeah. Hello Uzair. So he's our driver, come tour guide, come. Now he's become a very good friend of ours.
ये व्लॉग चल रहा है क्या?
अभी आप YouTube पे फेमस हो जाओगे.
YouTube पे मेंशन कर देना.
YouTube पे चैनल
जरूर.
मेकअप का सब बोलती है बाद में कहाँ.
On the way to Patni Top, we stopped at Pira near the highway, basically at Sharma Vaishno Devi Dhaba, where we had the most amazing. So we reached our hotel in Patni Top. I'm just gonna give you a quick little view. So it's quite big and spacious. There is a massive. So there's a double bed plus like an L sofa, and you can see clearly all our stuff is already like got here, and that's the washroom. They also have a balcony which is very sunny. Okay, so where's the entrance to the balcony? Yes, here it is. I'm gonna take you outside, and the view is really pretty right now. Of course it's sunny, but you have a really nice mountain view very pretty. And Patnitop is like a hill station in Jammu and Kashmir, basically. So we're on our way to Jammu because we fly back tomorrow from Jammu airport to Mumbai. So that's the reason our itinerary was planned this way. So yeah. Okay, so now that we're settled in the hotel in Patnitop, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update from Pahalgam. Like I told you this morning, there is a lot to share about our experience yesterday. So I want to talk about that in case anyone is planning their trip to Jammu and Kashmir and you want to kind of decide your itinerary based on that. So this is a common sentiment that all of us have shared, that the visit to Pahalgam, and specifically for you to visit all the points, and especially mini Switzerland, which is also called Baiskaran Valley. It's at the top in Pahalgam, and to reach there from the base, basically where you can park your car or your whatever vehicle you're traveling from, you have to take the horse route basically. And the route is very, very, very dangerous, scary. And yesterday specifically, because it was raining, there was a lot of mud in our way, necessarily, specifically is what I'm trying to say. And even apart from that, even if it's dry or even if there is snow, it's quite dangerous, especially if you're traveling with older people, people who have back problems, young kids. It's not recommended, and a lot of people who have gone there have also said the same thing. Like, we also came across other tourists who were basically staying in the same hotel as ours, and we like heard their experiences too. And no one really liked it too much, and it's definitely not worth doing that. We also spoke to someone who said that they went halfway and then they returned back, just because the young kids did not find it comfortable and it was not safe at all. So even though we completed our entire experience, and it's something we'll always remember, but we wouldn't recommend it to any of our close family, friends. We also have someone in extended family who's going to visit soon, and we also told them to rather skip it because they're going to be visiting next week. So yeah, in general, we didn't have a great experience in Pahalgam. And also now we're in Patnitop and we're heading towards Jammu basically tomorrow, like I told you. So there isn't much. Okay, I got interrupted because someone had come at the door. Basically, what I was telling you was, if you're planning your trip, I would recommend doing something where you visit Srinagar, like wherever you're traveling from. You take a flight or a train to Srinagar and then back. What we ended up doing is, like, we all were flying from Mumbai, so we came from Mumbai to Srinagar, and then planned an entire trip in a way where we started from Srinagar, covered Srinagar for 4 days, then came to Pahalgam, from Pahalgam to Patnitop. From Patnitop, we'll be going to Jammu for the airport. Basically, there is nothing else in Jammu that we'll be covering. But since our flight is back from Jammu, we have to take this route. Like, there is no other way out. And even my Masigi was saying this earlier, and even I felt the same way, that we could have rather taken the route back from Srinagar. Like, Pahalgam part was not really worth it. Patnitop is again really pretty and really nice, but there isn't much to do. Also, the travel from Pahalgam to Patnitop, oh my god, we literally spent the entire day today just in travel. So our tour guide was telling us this, that the roads to Jammu can close down anytime, anywhere. There isn't really like a schedule or anything, because of how hilly the region is, and because landslides are a common occurrence over here as well. The roads can just close down anytime, and if you are traveling back and forth like on the road and the roads close down, like if we didn't come today and we came tomorrow instead, there was a very high likelihood that we could have even missed our flight, because the roads were just closed down and then we can't reach Jammu airport. So that's the reason why this route specifically that we took, like from Pahalgam to Patnitop to Jammu, is better. Because today is basically the day where we covered the heavy lifting in terms of the travel. So yeah, Okay, my hand is hurting. So yeah, that was kind of like everything I wanted to tell you in terms of our tips and what we would want to share from our experience. So if we came back, we would do things differently. And of course, if any friend is planning a trip to Jammu and Kashmir, these are all tips I would tell them. So I wanted to make sure I'm telling you everything as well as a part of the vlog, so that if anyone is planning their trips, you can plan accordingly. And towards the end of the video, I'm also going to like document all my tips and tricks when you're planning a trip. That's going to kind of come once I reach Mumbai, so towards the end of the video. But as of now, this is what I wanted to share with you from yesterday and from today as well. So yeah. Okay, so now we have come to Natha Top, which is kind of on top of Patni Top. It's a very impromptu stop that we're making. So yes, I'm going to take you there.
Like, subscribe. Subscribe.
उज़ैर का भी ले ले ब्लॉग
लिया कल पहलगाम में लिया,
आज इधर भी ले ले
चलो let's go. So I'll take you through it. We are gonna go sledging again. We're gonna go sledging again. So we're at Jammu airport, heading back home. Okay, so this is going to be the last segment of the video because I thought about doing a separate video, but when I sat down to actually write down the points in terms of tips which I wanted to share with you, there wasn't much. I did not think it would make sense to do like an entire video just about that. So I'm adding this clip towards the end of the second part of the vlog, basically the end of the vlog. So today is Wednesday. We came back on Sunday and I wanted to do this till my thoughts were still fresh basically. So I'm going to quickly talk you through all the tips and what I wanted to share basically from my experience in Kashmir. So the first thing, and this is something I did not know when we were planning this trip, I don't think any of us knew, but Kashmir is heavily like based on tourism. I think the main livelihood of people over there is tourism and selling you goods. So you will find hawkers and vendors over there any and every place you go, no matter how small the place is, no matter how big the place is, no matter how popular it is or not as popular it is, you will find hawkers and vendors over there everywhere. I think our first day was the Dal Lake and the Shikara and everything, and one of the main attractions over there is the floating market and the bazaar you have. But apart from that also, when you go for your Shikara ride, you will be hounded and surrounded with a lot of people in their shikaras basically coming to you and selling you their stuff, and you need to know when to say no and how to say no if you don't want to buy, and also don't get peer pressured into buying everything. I feel like we initially felt that because it was our first day and we ended up buying a lot of stuff, some of which were not actually very useful or beneficial. And then we also did some really great shopping, especially in Meena Bazaar, where we bought clothes, and we loved some of the stuff over there. So you will find hawkers, vendors over there everywhere. Even when you go to like Gulmarg, Sonmarg, Dudh Patri, Pahalgam, like those kind of like more hilly mountainous regions, to enjoy the snow and everything, you will be hounded by people telling you to rent boots, rent jackets, buy beanies, gloves, neck warmers, like you name it. And there is not like one or two vendors, there are like 10s and 20s and like so many vendors basically, and you just need to know how to politely say no. Usually most people tend to buy stuff from here when they're going there, and if you don't end up buying anything here, you don't have to worry because you will definitely get it there. And if you're already taking stuff from here, you just have to be polite in telling them that, I already have everything, I don't need anything, just go away. basically. So that is something which we saw a lot, and it was honestly irritating. Like, I am someone, I can be quite short tempered, and I think I even lost my temper a couple of times. My family had to just chill me down, being like, don't be rude to them, it's just a part of their livelihood, they have to do what they have to do. And yeah, that happened a lot, I think, throughout our entire trip in Kashmir overall. Another thing that I did not know about going into this trip, and that was, you have to tip people over there for everything, literally. You're like, we're from Mumbai, and when you go to a restaurant and you like a meal, you generally tend to leave a tip, but no one's going to force you to tip them. Whereas there, it's completely different. Even if you don't want to tip someone, you still have to tip them. And this is something I think abroad is also pretty popular. And I've heard that in certain countries abroad as well, you have to do that. It's kind of a part of their culture. But I didn't know that in India, there is a place where that is a culture, basically. And if you live in a different city, which is not Mumbai, let me know if you have a culture in your city as well, that you have to literally tip people everywhere you go. And I'm not just talking restaurants, I'm not just talking hotels, I'm talking everywhere. If you get a shikara to basically take you from point A to point B, they will charge you whatever they regularly charge you. But you also have to tip them an extra $100-200 just for, you know, what they do. Like, they usually get paid any which ways, like the shikara people basically who are rowing the boat for you, but you have to give them an extra tip directly, and they get paid whatever you're paying for the shikara ride, like 1,000, 2,000, whatever it might be. You have to tip the hotel people, you have to tip the restaurants, you have to like literally everywhere, the drivers, the people who are helping you, everywhere. If you go for a sledge ride or a horse ride, the people who are helping you out there, you tip them also. I'm talking like literally everywhere that you go. For the 7-8 days we were there, we spent a lot of money just in tips, apart from the regular other things that we spent on, basically, like the rides, the food, shopping, everything, literally everything, the experiences. You'll also come across people in the touristy spots, basically, who'll offer to take your photos, and they won't like pose as a photographer. They'll be like, oh, let me just take a picture of you, and they'll take your photos, and then you'll be like, oh, humko khush kar do, basically asking for money. So that is also something that you will come across very often, and I've never seen this in any place that I've ever gone before apart from Kashmir. So also something to keep in mind if you happen to go there. Then my third tip, and this is also something which was very shocking to me, is that a lot of places that you go to where you go for different rides, it could be a sledge ride, it could be a horse ride, it could be an ATV bike, it could be anything. Rides and activities that you take, even shikara ride, by the way, they will tell you that, okay, this is a flat fee that you have to pay for a specific ride, and usually it's not like a fixed price that the government has set or something. Like, it's not like, you know, an MRP, basically. It is just a figure they will throw out in the air based on where you come from. So if you tell that, you know, you're from a bigger city, they'll probably hike up the price and charge you like double. So like, for example, if something costs 1,000 rupees, they'll say, oh, you have to pay 2,500 for this. And we were like, oh my god, 2,500 just for this? Like, that's insane. And then you basically start bargaining and you tell them, no, I'll just pay you 1,500. And you basically bring the price down and down and down. And depending on how pro you are at bargaining, like, I'm not great at bargaining, but the family that I was traveling with, my Masi, my brother, they were amazing at bargaining. So luckily, we saved a lot of money in certain places, and then in other places they would just refuse to bargain. Like when we went to Pahalgam, they were charging us 2,500 for a horse ride, and it was absolutely pathetic. So we definitely, like, even though we brought them down to like 1,000, later on we found out that there were people who had paid 1,300 for it, and we were like stupid people paying 2,000 for the same thing, and it was an absolute disaster of an experience. That's a whole different thing altogether, which I already spoke about in the video. But yeah, we had to bargain a lot, and certain places we did score a good deal, and maybe there were other people who paid more than us for the same thing, but there were other places where they would just refuse to bargain, and we would try to do our best basically. So you will find a lot of overpriced things, and I bet you, if you feel like something is overpriced, just refuse. Just tell them, okay, fine, we don't want to do it, we're just leaving, and they will then try to negotiate basically. So this is like a bargaining 101 tip that most people know about, is how to bargain. But make sure you wear bargaining socks when you go to any and every place, because otherwise they'll just luteify you like left, right and center. And that is something I also did not know about going into this trip. So yeah, those are some of the things I mean, I feel like I already shared a lot of stuff, specifically in terms of every place, but these are just some overall things that I also wanted to share with you, in like, just to conclude the video basically, and to make it well rounded, to make sure that I shared everything that I possibly could. And yes, that is that. I hope that this video is not super duper long. My first vlog is actually shorter, this one is going to be a little bit longer, but I wanted to make sure that I cover everything. So yes, I hope you enjoyed watching both the vlogs, and if you haven't watched the first one, go ahead and watch it. I'll leave a link down below. And I thoroughly enjoyed the trip. We had some bad experiences, we had some good experiences, but overall I enjoyed going on this trip so much, and I hope that I did a good job vlogging it and sharing with you as well. So yes, that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.